Hi, my friends. Thank you so much for coming back to Dressing the Diva. I'm thrilled to have you here. If you're new today, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well, so that every time I post something new, you never miss it. Now, there's no denying that this year has been a rather stressful time for those of us in creative positions, particularly freelancers. Nothing feels certain anymore, and we've really been shaken to our core by this year. In this video, I want to take you through 5 very easy and free self-care techniques to retreat within and find inner peace and calm to help you cope with this situation. Now, this time when I say self-care, I don't mean all things glam. I actually mean ways to help us all to cope with anxiety and stress in what could frankly not be more of an anxiety and stress-inducing period. These are some really simple techniques that have definitely helped me to get through this time with a smile on my face, often if not always, and I really hope that they work for you also. Let me know in the comments below how you find these techniques and also how this time has been for you, because we should all be supporting each other through this. So without further ado, let's get on to the 5 techniques. The first practice, and this I cannot recommend highly enough, is to keep a gratitude journal. This can be anything you want. I would recommend having a notebook that is especially for this purpose and that is separate from the rest of the stationery that you use. Your gratitude writing can look like whatever you want it to. Personally, I like to write down 3 things every day that I'm grateful for. So 3 could be a good number to start with, but it could be more, or it could just be one thing, however you feel. And it can be things that specifically happened that day or just general blessings that you have in your life. This is a really positive self-care practice at a time like this, specifically now, because it forces your brain to acknowledge on a conscious and subconscious level that there are positive things in your life, when it is really so easy to fall into a sort of depressive spiral, thinking about all the things that are wrong right now. So by taking the time to be mindful and write things down to uplift yourself, you really will reduce those feelings of anxiety and stress. So we all know the power of a good cup of tea when it comes to de-stressing and relaxation. And I have developed during lockdown a little afternoon ritual for myself that I like to call mindful tea drinking. That does sound really extra and over the top, but let me talk you through. As you can see, I am drinking a Bird and Blend loose leaf tea. This flavour is called Simply the Zest. And I just really, really love their flavour and like the scent and everything else. And that's kind of key to this little ritual. So just make your cup of tea, get ready to enjoy. Then I encourage you to sit somewhere really comfortable. You can even put your headphones in and listen to some binaural beats or meditation music on YouTube. I find that that really makes this a very escapist ritual. And just take your time with your beverage. So I like to kind of inhale the scent. That's also partly why I choose Bird and Blend, because they do smell so delicious. And a lot of the blends have notes of like lavender, which is very soothing. So yeah, you're inhaling. Take a sip, really enjoy it, and take deep breaths, deep relaxing breaths from the lower stomach. So as you can see, I started with good posture, but you end up basically lying back. It's great for relaxation and de-stressing. Next is the idea of clean space, clean mind. However, if you're really stressed and anxious, tidying your whole apartment, it can feel really overwhelming, especially if you have a lot to do. My mum recommended me this trick. She'll be so proud. It's to set yourself a timer for 20 minutes and just whip around and do everything that you can do to just straighten up the place within 20 minutes. Sometimes you'll just feel happy that you accomplished something, but a lot of the time you'll actually want to keep going because you'll already have achieved so much in that 20 minutes. And it's just a really good exercise in itself, because it just shows you that even the most overwhelming seeming tasks can actually have a lot of progress made in such a short time. Next is something that I've been practicing since about the beginning of this year, and it honestly has changed my whole perspective on life and my whole way of being, and that is guided meditation. Now, I must admit, I'm not the kind of person who finds it easy to switch off my mind and to just focus on like breath or just on one kind of thought. If I am left to my own devices, my thoughts will run wild. And that's why I like guided meditation specifically. There are so many available on YouTube, and I'm going to send you in the description box some of my favorites for you to try yourselves. And what I really love about this practice and why I think it's fantastic for self-care is that whilst just being and just sitting and relaxing, you can escape to a new universe, but one that is within you. And I think that's why it's so key for self-care. It's like turning off all of the negative thoughts and allowing yourself to just be immersed in something positive. Some guided meditations, and these are my favorite ones, are ones that allow you to really visualize a whole new surrounding for yourself. So I'm quite an extra person, so I do like some of these that have more kind of fairy tale vibes, like enchanted forests and caves and stuff like that. And I just really find that it can be such a perfect bit of escapism in your day, but it's great because it's escapism within yourself. As I mentioned, I will link some of my favourites in the description box below, but I would particularly recommend the work of Jason Stevenson and Kenneth Soares if you're just going to do a search. You really will be surprised, I hope, at how much this uplifts your outlook on life and your feeling within yourself. I urge you to practice this. And finally, walking or running are the best things that you can do exercise-wise to de-stress and calm anxiety. If you've watched me before, you might know that I'm a runner and I also love taking long walks. Firstly, it's free. Secondly, there's little to no brain power involved, like if you're counting reps at the gym or something. And lastly, if you run often enough, it will massively decrease your resting heart rate, which means that you're very fit, but also gives the indication that the body has de-stressed as much as the mind has. See you next time, and don't forget to subscribe.